Three, two, one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Amal, and joining me tonight, I have Carl, Andy, George, and Mus. And we are the Monday Blues, coming off the back of our first finals win in over a decade. It is, yes, go Blues, go the baggers, up the baggers, gentlemen.
I'm Jade, man.
How are we feeling? Carl, I'll kick it off with you.
How am I feeling today, or before the game, or you want everything?
Now, right now, and then before the game, we'll talk about that.
Right now, I feel numb. Expectations are going up to possibly Brisbane in a car load of us. I feel good, man. Happy for what happened, but yeah, I'm good, man. Boys, how you feeling?
Georgie, hey, we both put it on each other. I'll jump in. It's weird, eh? Winning a final, and yeah, as you said, Carl, we're talking about trips to Brisbane and who's singing what, who's bringing what, where we're staying, what we're eating, what we're doing, how we're going to go after the win. Yeah, it's exciting. It's really, really exciting. It's a foreign feeling for us to be having these sort of combos at this time of year. So really excited.
Agreed. It's uncharted territory. It's amazing. Like, who would have thought? You know, again, me and Andy walking to the station after the game. We're like, 3 months ago, would you imagine it? And Andy was like, 3 months ago, I just wanted one win, like let alone a finals win. So yeah, numb was that feeling of the final siren. I think me and Carl, I think at one stage we both paused for about a second and a half. And we looked like Harry Mackay coming off the field because we both almost passed out. Like, I think we yelled that loud after the Newman's mark and the siren that it reverberated. I didn't hear the siren, and then we just both paused. And I think we were both dizzy. We both passed out almost. It was unbelievable. So yeah, a little bit calmer now, but just it's starting to hit home, and it's nice to see. The finals calendar and Carlton sort of, slotting into a semi there and hopefully a prelim and hopefully the big dance. So, yeah, Gee. Andy, what about you?
I'm still floating, man. My voice is just starting to recover. It was. I'm still floating, boys. I'm so happy. The last few days, I've just been over the moon. So keen for Melbourne. I'm so G'd up.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Anything is possible, boys.
100%. Yeah, hey, it's good to be a Carlton supporter at the moment. And just being at the G on Friday night. We'll get to that in a sec. But it feels so good. The weekend, you just, you stood a little taller. You had a slightly bigger smile on your head at the moment, and it's just, you see people and you kind of, I don't know, it's going to sound cocky, but you feel like you're looking down on them from where we are at the moment.
That's to Essendon fans. Sorry, but I think from my calculation, 2 days since Carlton won a final.
It's been a while.
Just, yeah. Low key.
What an atmosphere, right, to be a part of. And even before the G, I mean, I was nervous. Going into the Sydney game. There was a slight air of confidence, but it was more nerves before the game. But when I got to the G, it was just a literal human wave of nothing but Carlton supporters, and that whatever nervous feelings I had at the time was just immediately taken away. I was calm at the G. Before that, and in the lead up to the game, it was nerves. It was really bad. But as soon as you got there and you saw all of these Carlton supporters, it was literally like 100 to 1, I reckon.
Yeah.
That really calmed me down. How did you boys feel on the way to the game?
I'll tell you what, I went from nervous to angry after seeing Mick Malthouse because it just reminded me of some dark times, right? But yeah, got a little bit calmer after seeing Big Sauce just near our seats as well. So, yeah, Andy?
I was really nervous. Like you said, confidence, but like I woke up quite like the butterflies were, flowing, and I think it got to maybe 10 a.m. and that those nerves turned into. I just got angry. I was really G'd up to the point where I was just making myself angry, and it was like, I want to play. You know what I mean? I just want to get there. I want the day to be done, and I just want to get there and just win. I want blood. Like it was personal. I don't know. I felt like Sydney hurt us, and yeah, I was really angry on Friday. I just wanted us to win, and played out the way it did.
Carl, were you nervous in the lead up to the game, or were you?
I honestly, it hadn't hit me all week. I was fine, all cash. This is normal. Even game day,
This is normal.
it was just, it was normal. Come 5 o'clock, I felt like I was gonna vomit. I felt sick in the gut. We get to the game, we're sitting down. The game starts in 40 minutes. I go to George, I think I'm gonna vomit, man. I feel disgusting, man. I don't know what's going on here. I never felt like that.
You did look a bit pale now that I think of it.
I felt so yuck, man.
Bro, it's so funny you say that. In the fourth quarter, I was going to vomit, right? I genuinely felt like I was going to vomit. I was sitting next to Moose, and I was like, I don't want to vomit on Moose, but where am I going to vomit, right? So I made a plan in my head, right? I bought this T-shirt on Friday night, and it came in a bag. So the plan was, take the T-shirt out and vomit in the bag. That was literally, I had to make a plan because it was real. Like, it was.
That plan was gone for 10 minutes. I see Andy sort of been poking around under chairs trying to find something. I'm like, bro, you all right?
That's why I was doing it. I didn't want to say nothing to you. I don't want to freak you out.
Pre-game at the G was brilliant, right? Absolutely brilliant. And it was a pity, Carl and Moose, you guys came maybe 5 minutes after this happened, but these two lovely ladies came up to Andy and George and I and asked for a photo, and that was brilliant. I think that was the moment where all of the nerves were gone. That's funny as that may sound, but it was a cold, really cold, icy night, right? And as soon as they came up, hey, we love your show and everything like that. They love the podcast. Can we take a photo? I was like, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And I personally, I freaking loved it. It was such a good feeling. And look, to those ladies, if you ever see us again, always welcome. Please come and say hi. I'd love to have a chat with you. And take more photos. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the next photo will be $5 each. But just come down.
Come get a nice photo.
How tribal did it feel? Like, not even the game, but the build up, the social media, the fans.
Yeah.
Before the game, like the week or the 2 weeks leading up, there was a sense of like tribalness, like we're in this together.
Yeah.
Stronger together. Like, and it's like the supporters, for the first time in my memory, like I can't remember Carlton supporters being so united to get a job done. It's almost like we were the 19th man for real, not just come along and be the 19th. Nah, bro, we were the 19th
we were
man.
Legit, yeah.
Like, we were him.
And in stark contrast to our home game against Essendon 3 months ago, where they had the bigger fireworks, they took took the bobbleheads, and like that's your home game, right? And you said tribalness, but like it sort of felt like a, for anyone who's been to Europe and watched a soccer match, and been lucky enough to visit, say, Man United and Barcelona's home games and stuff, where it's a home crowd domination, the noise, the voice, and it's almost intimidating for the away side, right? I've very rarely felt a game like that. Even like last 2 weeks ago when we had the GWS game, and our fans obviously 98% Carlton versus 2% GWS. There wasn't that feeling, right? There wasn't that atmosphere. So this is different. The lead up to the game, at the game, as you said, Andy. So it was so stark contrast to some of our home games recently. So yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
it's funny you say tribal because I think they played the iteration of their own jungle drums in the lead up to the boys coming out of the tunnel. Far out. If there is ever an intro for the players to come out onto the Carlton has the best one ever out there. I think I've got some footage. If I find it, I'll play it over this little section. Right, it is the most epic, the most intense, inspirational. ass hair raising music and entry I've ever heard or seen in my life. They've got smoke coming out of the tunnel. They've got these like jungle drum beat,
Seven Nation Army.
heartbeat. Yeah.
Seven Nation
And then-
Army was going on too, yeah.
And then they've got, in the background of that, they've got the da 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 da, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh man,
Bro,
was
when
sick.
when that club song comes in, it's like that deep. It
Yeah,
hasn't actually hit yet. Where it's like the build up.
it's building.
It's huge.
Right.
Massive.
What a G up.
And we had a flag, not a flag, a banner that actually stood that the players could run through. Go figure.
Yeah.
Lucky those ones.
And then, yeah, man, it was, first bounce, and Carlton came to play. Carlton,
Quick shout out to Costa. They met us before the match.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was nice to present the jersey for the giveaway winner to Costa and get a photo with him as well, which will pop the photo, I reckon, over the this vid. But it was nice to see him and nice to present that. So very, very positive feelings leading up to the match.
Yeah.
But yeah, that bounce and the anthem leading up to the bounce as well.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
mad.
first time being a part of something like that. That was pretty cool. First bounce, and Carlton's here to play, man. It was intense right from the get go, and who better of a person to kick the first goal than Doherty?
Huge.
Absolutely.
Set the crowd went crazy. Like you said, no better person could have kicked the first goal.
Yeah. Everyone's on their feet. They're all.
I got angrier when we kicked the first goal. I got angrier. I don't know why. I was filled with rage all day. I wanted to see blood. I wanted us to just win and win brutally.
Oh, right. Harry McKay picked the wrong day to be bad.
Look, to be fair to Harry, he set up the Doherty goal.
First
Two
two
goals,
goals.
yeah.
First two Cotters as well.
And then he set up
Charlie.
the Kerno goal as well. And man, I tell you what, on Kerno, in that first 5 minutes or a couple of minutes before he kicked the first goal, how crazy was it every single time? How crazy did the crowd get every single time the ball went near him?
Yeah.
It was like this crescendo of noise, and then for a split second before the ball, before he touched the ball or grabbed the ball or did anything, there was a moment of silence. Split second of silence before it was like, oh yeah, and it was just, man, for the people that were there, they will understand the electricity that was in that atmosphere, that game. And for those that missed out, I wish you were there. I wish
The
you were
level was shaking. The ground we were on, level 2, was shaking.
there.
I swear it was. Felt like a bloody earthquake.
It was great. I've seen some awesome reaction videos of people in their homes and whatnot as well celebrating. So it's hope everyone was getting around. And that's what's great to see, right? Like as Andy mentioned, the 19th man, we need to be that voice, right? We need to be that. So you look at like say Collingwood. I'm not comparing us or anything now, but sometimes they half of their game plan is getting in your head. You know that Collingwood or like the fans getting in and whatnot. Half of that is just getting in your head or the player's head or the fans' head. So us getting around the players for each and every sort of contested mark, goal, this that. So the noise was deafening. It was like we talked about it last week, right? Like what was the biggest fraud? Like I reckon. Between a few moments that we'll discuss, equaling, if not bettered, on Friday night. So it's huge.
Mm.
There wasn't many players across the team that didn't stand out. There were so many standouts. Who was it for you guys? And Andy, I'll throw it to you first. Who was it that stood out for you in the Sydney game?
Cotters.
Yeah.
Cotters was a man possessed, and you know what, Sam Walsh as well. But Walshy always gets his credit, He always and well deserved. But I think Cotters, first final, like he's not a fringe player, but he's not in our top 10, top 12. He's that player that people always bring up when someone's coming back. Is Cotters going to go? And so for him to come out and have the impact he had across 4 quarters, he didn't really have a lull. Can't remember him making too many mistakes, and just he put himself in the right position constantly.
Yeah.
And that's pure work rate. It wasn't luck. It wasn't even. It was just I'm running. I'm gonna run my opponent off his feet, and he did that, and he got himself in the right positions, took his chances. He made every moment count, and that's what finals is all about: making your moment count. And I feel like he made them all count.
Agreed.
Georgie?
Speaking of work rate, Blake Acres, I'll put up my hand. Earlier in the season, I was bold enough to have an opinion where I was pretty friggin' annoyed. I think a few of us were, most of your best mate, earlier in the season. But I'm man enough to admit when I was wrong as well. So Blake Acres, wow. There was a first couple of games I think he was okay. There was that patch when we were losing where he was almost like sort of the face of some of the brunt from supporters with, the low disposal efficiency. He was working hard, but the kicks, the loves a good out of bounds on the full, but the turnovers, the high long bombs to nothing in the forward line and whatnot, and he's the way he's turned it around through the work rate and through multiple different things, but his elite fitness levels, his aerobic capacity that won us the game. We'll talk when we cover the rest of the game in terms of his game saving touches. Critical goal, but hey, that's I'll admit, I was wrong earlier in the season, and we identified wings as our weakness, and wow, have we turned that around, right? In him, in Hollands, in Cottrell. This time last year it was Lockie O'Brien and Jack Nunes, manning the wings, so which seems almost unfathomable now, so. Hey, Freo, thank you. I think, what is it, a future third round we gave them, which is it's looking like
that's chips.
A fantastic deal. So thanks for Chera too, by the way. But yeah, so Acres for me.
What about you, Mus?
It was definitely a day for the wingers. Absolutely. They tore it apart. Between Cottrell and Acres, you can't pick a winner. They both did different things. I think Cottrell was instrumental when the game needed to be grabbed by the scruff, and he really impacted the scoreboard. There's one real big call out for me. I don't remember which quarter it was, but the second goal he kicked. The third.
Second.
When the ball hit the top of the square and it was a contested ball, and he did everything he could. He was on the ground, he was up, he was down, he rolled, and then he snapped it. And it was like, for me, that was like, Cottrell, this is a possessed man. He wasn't taking any passengers. He was just all out. 94%, I think it was disposal efficiency.
Wow.
That's unheard of. Mate, he has cemented that wing along with Acres. I can't pick a winner out of those two. If I was to mention a third, it's a really short Adam Sard. He did a lot of good things for me. We've spoken a little bit about Cottrell and Acres and what they were able to do, but Adam Sard got in the right position. delivered the ball well when he did get the ball. He was very composed and poised as well in the way he sort of moved, some side steps, footsteps, moving around packs. He was really good for me.
I think he had 9 or 10 intercept possessions as well. He was very good.
Easily his best game of the year.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah, so definitely not taking anything away from the wingers. With such a big ground like the G, the wingers need to be impactful, and it's something we've longed for a lot. Carlton, we've needed a winger, and now all of a sudden we've got two. Well, one's got one arm, but by the end of that game, Akers couldn't move that arm, so it's a big concern. But that's it for me. What have you got, Carl?
Yeah, you can't really say anything else beside those two blokes. But I thought you were going to point out the tackle in the third on Errol Goulden from
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that when he kicked it and then chased
Cottrell.
Oh, yes.
In the square when he brought in. That was a really good tackle.
Pretty much would have been a goal. Was that a final time as well? But yeah, like you said, man, they dominated, and their ability to run, he kicked it, and then a minute later he's down there. They were everywhere, man. They absolutely dominated, both of them.
Dare I say that tackle on Goulden was game saving, because they were up our ass. They kicked a few goals before that, I think, as well. You can't look past Akers and Cottrell at all.
How good was Akers when he kicked the ball to space, followed up his own ball?
Him and Fogarty.
Gang tackle.
And he couldn't. He did it with one arm, man.
Yeah, that was one of the moments. That like when you talk about the moment in the game, like that was one of two moments for me. Yeah. Like that where he kicks into space, 2 minutes to go.
Yeah,
one functional arm, as Mus said, he is chasing that ball. You watch it on when we watched it on the replay after the game. And I loved seeing Blakey get it because Fogg was right there first, and Fogg just absolutely him and Akers pancaked him, right? So
Akers is quick, man.
Yeah, he has one arm, and he closed that space. And Blakey's is very fast, right? So he got there. Fogg and Akers pancaked him. That was a pivotal moment for me. And then the other one, which we'll talk about, I think, later in the game, but about the fourth quarter, but the Walsh smother. The spoil on McDonald, I think it was at the fourth, where he was out. Just the work rate, the game's on the line, right? The game is on the line, and he gets there. Just inch perfect. He comes back and he looked knackered. The guy was walking back. Arms just sucking them in because he couldn't breathe after that. He was wrecked. So that's game saving stuff.
Yeah.
Finals footy, boys. Moments.
It's finally good to have some players that actually run, though.
Yeah,
because in the past we've had lazy players.
We've had players that just gave up.
Yeah, exactly.
They turn it over.
Early too.
Sorry, but you guys are still ticking a box for a player for me that sits in a forward line. Anyway, so
Jack Martin.
No, definitely not him, bro.
Speaking of the forward line, go Andy.
I'm asking, who's that? Is it Hayden?
Mate, Andy.
You said lazy. You said he couldn't get his leg up to kick a ball.
Let me tell you something. Let's just talk about Harry McKay because I got something to get off my chest.
As long as we got an hour or so.
If you asked me on Friday, and the boys can attest to this, I said after he missed that goal, not even after he missed the goal, that second one, first one unforgivable, second one even more unforgivable, but his efforts after he missed that second one. Bro, if you miss, you know what? You missed. Move on. Effort for me is a non-negotiable. And he shit his fucking pants after he missed that. He got into his own head. And I know he's a bit, he's got his little issues and all that, but this is finals. If you're not man enough to be out on the ground, get off.
That's what it is.
There's about 5 blokes in the VFL who would kill for your position. And if you don't want to be there after you stuff up, get off the ground. Simple as that. And there are going to be people who are going to say, it's just he missed and he's got his mental health issues and whatever they're going to fucking throw out there, man. Bro, this is finals. We're not.
You don't miss those.
Nah, bro.
Nah,
You're a Coleman medalist, bro. kick the goal, and if you miss it, follow up. You effort is a non-negotiable. Period.
What happened? What was the action?
Oh, bro, his
Lazy.
body language after he
Yeah,
missed
body language was a big
the
one.
next few contests, he ran off the ground, right? He jogged off the ground, right? When it was time for him to have a rest, he comes back on the ground. He does not want to be there. Effort was non-existent, and you even see it in the replay a couple of times. I don't want to. I hate to be the one to say it, but I honestly, truly, in my whole heart, believe he's faking being concussed. I'm saying he shit his pants. He absolutely shit his pants. He did not want to be out there. He went into his shell, and he doesn't want to be out there.
And it's a look. He looked. I will say he looked pretty wrecked when the club song, when they were singing their song, and he looked. He didn't look right. He didn't look right. But
Because he just missed 2 shots on goal, and he feels like shit, bro. I'm not copping it, bro.
That's
Watch
like
the replay. What's he concussed from?
And Andy, like you've been probably one of his biggest advocates this year. Like Andy's been an advocate all year. Yeah, like
I have backed him. I've argued with Moose. Me and Moose have had some heated arguments about this, and I have had Harry Mackay's back all season.
You have.
And I'm not going to sit here and say he had a shit game. He absolutely had a decent game.
I did.
He had his two moments, which he didn't take, but I'm more angry at his efforts
Afterwards,
and his body language after it.
I think
It's a loser mentality to shit the bed.
and that's where for me I've been a little bit funny on him. Love him as a player. Think he's essential to our forward line, but I've been funny on him when you said that about his mentality. If you remember last August on the couch with Gary Lyon, Gary asked him, this is before round 23 with Pies. I think it was during that last 3 or 4 weeks of the season. And Gary asked him, is this season a success if Carlton don't make finals? And what did he say? He's like, yeah, short answer, yes. Like for me, that is, you don't say that. That's not a winning mentality. That's not like you are there to win. You are there. Like, okay, the ultimate goal, of course, is to win the flag, right? After that, top 4, top 8 finals, all that kind of stuff. So that's how you measure your success. If you haven't met that, like you go and ask Patrick Dangerfield, Gary Ablett, Bont, Nick Larkey. Ask Nick Larkey, who's been cellar dwelling in the last couple of years for North. He's not going to say that. So he's going at 37% this year, which is bad, right? So he's again, is it that's not premiership winning formula. He's at 37%. Charlie, I think, is at 61%. So you're paid the big bucks to kick the ball through the big sticks, and you can't be missing not 1 but 2 sitters like that. So for me, it's
why is he dribbling it? He's like done my hitting. Like you're in the goal square, you're bloody a meter out. Why
kick through it? Kick through it. Kick through it, yeah. Like
lazy.
The second one, I was shocked that he didn't go for the snap personally, because I was like, this is his bread and butter snap position, right? Like he was 15 meters out, no angle to speak of. He'll just go and do his bread and butter snaps, right? Like he got very close to the man on the mark. He's dropping motion.
Yeah.
So he's going at 37%, and it's not talent. The blokes won a Coleman medal, right? It's between the ears. Like he's just
the yips.
Yeah. And again, you heard like the even though it was Carlton dominated crowd, when he marked that ball, or when he had the ball and he was lining up, just the sound around the ground. Like your Charlie doesn't get that.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't get. No one else gets that, right? Just the noise.
We know what this bloke is and isn't capable of, and having a confident set shot from 15 meters out, he's not capable of that. So at this point, I ask you guys, what do we do
with him?
Well, he's not playing this week anyway, so let's not worry about it.
I don't think it's what do we do. Let's go back to 2021, right? He's just won the Coleman. Favola's offered to come in and help him with his kicking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Back then, you decided I don't want Favola to come in. I've just won my Coleman. I'm all good. Cheers for the offer, right? But now that you've had a pathetic year in front of goals, right? You're kicking at mid 30%, right? Circa 30%, whatever it is. Be man enough to go, you know what? Now I need a goal kicking coach. Someone come and help me. Just
No, he
take
won't.
it.
He won't.
You know what? I'm just going to jump in here. It's beyond goal kicking for me. I'm going to take us back 12 weeks, 13 weeks, whatever it was. I'm not going to say he's solely responsible, but for me, a lot of the issues we had stemmed from the forward line. And you saw when we got some pressure come into the side, your Fogartys and your Martins, who did what Harry Mackay couldn't do, take a mark and kick a goal, things started to improve. And it sort of started to filter through the team. And things got better. Morale got better. Team building, things got better. And things started to gel and things started to work for us. I'm not going to say he's solely responsible, but I just saw a little glimpse of that. And as soon as he dropped his head, the game shifted. The game shifted. And I'll tell you what, if it shifted a little more and your Cottrells and Akers didn't really pull a finger out and really get things done, we would have been done.
Yeah.
I don't think those two misses have been spoken about enough because we won. If we had lost, those two misses would be like that. That would be
under the microscope.
Yeah.
This would be a completely different podcast.
I've critiqued him so much. I don't think he's fit for purpose in that Carlton team. That Carlton team can go a long way. I don't think that he's fit for purpose to execute the way we need to in that forward line.
So, if we do decide to keep him, I think the club needs to go all in on just forcing a psychologist onto him.
Yep,
He
it's
needs
beyond,
to
it's
see
beyond
it.
goal kicking. It's not a goal kicking.
Anything that can help him, right? Anything that will help him. Look, whatever it might be, a goal kicking coach. But look, because around the ground, and we've said it many times, like he's great around the ground, but you're paid the big bucks to put the ball through the big sticks, right? So at the end of the day, you're there with Charlie to help, get 40 goals a season, 50 goals a season, right? Like get your 2 goals a game or whatnot. Now Charlie's obviously main man, number one. He's going to shoulder the load. He's going to take the best defender. As Andy said, get like the club, like sit down with him. What do you need? Hey, we've committed to you till 2030 on big money. What do you need? Like, what do you need for us to help you with? So, mentorship, psychology, goal kicking coach, anything, anyone, and he should hopefully be open to that. We don't know. We're talking about things on the surface here. We obviously don't know. What's going on, obviously, with him, if there is something going on with him, but it seems to be a little bit more deeper than what we know. So, I really hope, because I friggin' love the guy. Hopefully it can, come good, because when they're both on, like we've seen games where they both kick a bag and it's beautiful. And when they work in tandem, it is beautiful. Like Charlie marks it, 60 out, wheels goes to Harry. It is poetry in motion.
That was literally the play.
Yeah.
And bro,
We were talking about
Melbourne
half time, must remember. Me, you, and Amal.
Yeah.
Me and Amal, like, he's good. Mus is not a fan. 5 minutes into the third, he does that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Melbourne would be cursing his out. Melbourne would be cursing his out. He's a liability right now. and I don't care how many supporters I upset by this. He is a lie. If he stays on, we probably lose that game.
Yep.
And I mean that wholeheartedly.
You know what's crazy? Who would have thought at the start of this season we would be more stressed about losing Jack Martin for next week than Harry?
Yeah.
That's another one.
Jack Martin has become so critical to our forward line. Even regardless of whether Harry's in there or not, the leadership and the cohesion that he's brought into that forward line is intangible. You don't see that in the way that he plays and what he brings in the form of action. This is intangible, what he brings to that forward line, right? He connects everyone together. He brings the small forwards in with the talls, and he is that point. He is that point of contact for all of them. And then he's able to also bloody kick goals and take marks in the defense when it matters. This guy he did everything on Friday night. And the fact that he is out is cooking my brain right now.
Hurts.
Yeah.
Hurts.
I'll tell you what is tangible.
Didn't we talk about this, I think, in the preview, when we're talking about who's the most important player on our list?
Yeah.
I think, Amal, you brought up Jack Martin.
Yeah.
You did.
So put Moz on him.
What? He is, and they were speaking about it, I think, on AFL.com.au, saying that he's almost like a one-grab player. Like, he's a contested marking beast, this guy. We saw it in defence. We saw it in the forward line. and the reliability around goals, the leadership in the forward line. Dare I say it? I don't think we've had a player of his mould, his size, his ability, his skill in that forward line since Matthew Lappin. Like he just reminds me of. Remember how Matthew Lappin was just hard at it, great for a grab. He can go up and take a screamer, good around goals. I don't think we've had anyone like Jack since Lappin.
Great call.
Yeah.
Matty
Yeah,
Lappin
massive.
was a superstar.
I don't think many teams have got someone like Jack Martin, to be honest.
No.
It's unique.
I was talking to a mate of mine, Shawnee. If you're listening, shout out to you. I said that it would be fantastic for Carlton to go out in the off season and look for a player like Jack Martin. But who the hell is there?
That's right.
Who is there that can play a small forward role and also play as a third tall at the same time?
I hate to say this, but you know who does that well, and he plays for the Scum. The bloke that I call the washed up.
Jamie.
He does it really well.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he'll be coming over anytime soon. The guy's probably loving his life at Collingwood. But I think we're really going to understand and appreciate what Jack Martin brings to the team this week against Melbourne. And I hope it's not the defining factor in the game come Friday night. But Jack Martin is super, super critical to our forward line. I don't know who of the other small forwards in Corey Durden or Motlop or whoever else there is can fill his spot and play his role. I don't know who can do that.
He's not short as well. That's the thing.
He's not. No.
Yeah.
Big leap on him.
Yeah, that's right.
He's aggressive as
Definitely
well.
going to be hard to get someone that comes
A little bit
in.
over aggressive last
It'd
week.
have to be sauce. It'd have to be sauce.
Sauce is a direct replacement for Mackay, though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he becomes that crucial player now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And do we bring in Kennedy potentially?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Kennedy
to
or
play
even
half forward.
Cunningham needs to play that similar sort of role as well.
I think Tom DeConing's going to go forward a lot.
The other thing that Voss might pull out a bit of I think the Kennedy call's a good one, big body in the forward line. But I think if you look at their we'll get to this in the preview, of course. But if they're decimated, forward line, so Petty's out, Van Rooyen's getting a week, Malcolm's out, Ben Brown's out. So their forward line, their tall stocks are out, right? So they're going to bring back Grundy most likely. So all of a sudden we've got Weeders, Marchbank, McGovern, Kemp. I reckon just like a bit of a what's that bloke's name? Collingwood in defence that they swung forward.
Jeremy Howe.
Jeremy Howe. I reckon that they might do a bit of Kemp or McGovern, one or the other, might just try and throw them off a little bit because otherwise we're oversized in defence, right? I'm just saying.
Hopefully not McGovern.
You never know. Hopefully not. I think Kemp would be an interesting one, but you don't want to experiment.
No, not with Kemp. He's fine in the back line. Do not ruin the bloke's career. Leave him alone.
But this is what I mean. Their forward line's small, right? So, do we play all of them? Because they've got Fritsch, Grundy, Joel Smith, whatever. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I reckon there's going to be a couple of interesting moments.
I agree. I reckon you see Hollands come in for one of those tools.
What do you think of the idea of Harry going defence?
No, man.
Hang on. No.
I'm serious.
I like it.
Bro, he's soft. He is soft. He is soft.
Hang on a sec.
Just get Ben. Just bring Ben.
Bro, you got to understand. He's soft in the forward line because he's the one trying to get the free.
He doesn't want a free kick. He doesn't want a shot at goal.
Exactly right. He's just got to mark, make a contest.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no look what
Man,
to the back
he got
line
knocked
did
out
for
by
Liam.
the wind. He got concussed and knocked out by the wind.
Hang on a
Because he
second.
didn't want to have a set shot.
Look what moving to the back line did for Liam Jones. He was absolutely
massive.
he was worse than Harry in the forward line. And
Wasn't as soft though.
but he couldn't kick, bro. Harry plays for the freeze as a forward. You can't do that as a defender, bro.
No.
You don't see defenders doing
I reckon he'd be perfect as a back.
I actually think he would be
quick
exactly.
and he's big.
Yeah,
Cool,
he
man.
can't tackle, he can't punch, and he doesn't put a body on.
Bro, he's one of the best tacklers in our team.
Yeah, when he's tackling little midgets running
bro.
out of the 50.
Okay, but all right, chuck him in the back line, bro. Who's going to do the running? The little guys. So why not have a big athlete who can do that?
Hey, look,
I think that's a brilliant idea.
I'm happy to give it a crack, but
Definitely worth a shot.
Rossi, if you're listening, If it fits into the master system, give it a crack. But I'd rather see him on the out.
It's a worrying trend, though. You throw Liam Jones back because he's failed forward experiment, McGovern back because he's failed forward experiment. You give Harry a 7-year contract, you throw him back because he's failed forward experiment. I don't know.
It worked both times, though.
He'll be an All-Australian defender.
It's a winning formula so far.
Where's Lewis Young?
Who's that?
But he was never a forward.
You know what is pleasing, though? Carl's killing me. We kicked the winning score and beat Sydney, and Charlie and Harry had 1 goal between them. So that was pleasing. But,
Yeah.
hey, next week, it's not going to be as easy.
Yeah. Now we can't sit here and give it to Harry the whole time for his goal kicking woes. There was a moment. Always almost cooked it as well.
Oh my god!
Hey, I was. You talk about angry. I was fuming.
You're just gonna punch me.
Yeah. Well, I was. How bad was that? Like, the whole crowd. You could just hear the shock of the crowd. Like, I didn't see that he kicked it. I thought he handballed it.
That's
like,
what I thought.
in the goals. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I didn't. There wasn't even celebration of the goal. Everyone was just
He
relief.
loves the celebration.
I reckon
When he
thought
didn't celebrate,
Yeah, I reckon
Yeah.
he thought he missed.
He genuinely probably thought he missed. Yeah.
He got dragged. He got dragged.
yeah. I'm hoping that it was just finals jitters, and the boys got that pressure, and they made their mistakes. I think Kempy made a bad mistake, cost us a goal. It happens. Move on.
Knew he had made a mistake as well.
Yeah.
And this is my pure belief, honestly, that the team most likely to beat us in this final series is ourselves. So it's us. It's us. I think bring on anyone, right? The team most likely to beat us is ourselves. You've seen sometimes we get in our own head, you know, Harry's situation, the fumbles and OEs and things like that as well. We control it. So we didn't play the style that we've been playing. You know, we went into our shells a little bit. I felt like we lacked run against Sydney, especially that second half as well. So
We look tired.
yeah.
But I feel like we've grown as a team because like you play that game say a year or two ago, we don't just lose, we lose by a lot.
We don't play that game.
Goals.
We lose.
We
by a
disappear
lot.
in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Return.
Bro, we
100%
defended
true, yeah.
that last 10 minutes. Wow.
What is a game in
The
September?
whole last quarter, bro.
Yeah.
The whole last quarter was literally defense against defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever's defense was going to hold up was going to win, and that was it.
Yeah.
And moments, moments. Weeders, Saad, Marchbank. How crucial was he in the last quarter?
Even Newman was okay.
Arden went back.
Moments.
Yeah.
Everybody took their chances in that last quarter, made their moment. We stuffed up. We like I said, we had those stuff ups, but hopefully those cobwebs are gone. Those finals cobwebs. We come out and just do Melbourne over, because I reckon we can, and I reckon we can quite easily.
Yeah. Is it weird to be more confident about the Melbourne game than it is the Sydney game? I don't think so. It's fine.
Well, considering we're talking about Brisbane, about accommodation and who's going to drive and.
I like that call. Sorry, I like that call out, George. I think we're our own worst enemy, and that's the only way we're going to get done this final series. I think. I like it.
Well, that's like this game. Like Sydney dragged us to their level. It was a shit fight. I said in the preview, this game is going to be a shit fight, right? So it was, and it wouldn't be a Carlton win unless doing it in heart attack fashion, of course. So, but yeah, all worth it in the end. But yeah, I think. As Andy mentioned, the moments that you've seen so many plays that we probably didn't think were match winners or big moment players step up, like your Cotters, Akers ripping it up, Chera with a huge goal. I think it was in the third. Walsh stepping
goal.
up, captain's goal. There was the clutch. Well, both Martin's goals were clutch. Cunningham had that set shot as well.
Yep.
So all these goals, and then. For me as well, like I felt a bit more assured when Pitnet was rucking, right, versus TDK as well. So I noticed that our clearance work was a little bit better. And I was just, again, happy to be proved a little bit wrong with Marchbank. Like I was at the game, in the first quarter, I was saying to Carl, it looks like he's got concrete in his boots. The way he's running, he was struggling. And Marchbank is a guy that I think, sort of builds into games. Like he'll have a few moments like you get really nervous and stressed, but then he has absolute clutch moments. He went back with a flight with that game. One of the huge mark, couple of intercepts. So huge credit to him. But
Yeah,
Yeah, moments.
The March. It's called the Marchbank ratio. So it's 3-1, I think, at the moment. 3 shit things followed by 1 extremely good thing. Every time, count it out. Next game, count it out.
I
Can we
remember
talk about? You go.
I'd say he was running off on the bench, Georgie, when Marchbank ran off. You like, he come off and then he ran back on, and George is like, I think it's the quickest he's ran. And he's ready for a spell again.
I've never seen him run that quick. Like, but like when he runs, dare I say, he reminds me of like Ryan Houlihan. Like, you know, he's running. He might be going at full pelt, but it just looks like he's going slow motion. Like that's what. Like, just watch Marchbank run. Watch the replay. But man, credit to him. He gets to the contest. He had some huge moments. So like, who knows? You know that he could be a key for going up against. He might. Who knows? Like, who takes Fritsch? Who takes Joe Lewis? A couple other players as well. So he might be left in the squad. So they're a medium to small forward line.
I was gonna say TDK had a massive game.
He did.
TDK was one of our best as well. Just those marks, those contests, he was everywhere. Those tackles, I think he had a couple of really important tackles, and I thought he had. Yeah,
He's
like
building.
this is. I've been a big believer in TDK, so I feel justified, with the way he's building. A few weeks ago against Melbourne, actually, we were having the discussion: how good would he be if he clunked those marks, if they stuck? Well, they're sticking now.
Yeah. He did get a couple
of really important marks.
Yeah.
Speaking of marks, how good was Charlie in the last quarter?
Yeah.
Huge.
Crucial.
He took a cracker on the wing.
Yeah, took a few good marks, a few good contests again. Was a pretty rough night for him. It was a hard night for him.
Yeah.
We kind of got sucked into that long bomb inside 50, which was hurting us again. We were very Charlie-centric, and I think that that hurt us a bit. But that's because we've got another guy in there who they clearly don't have faith in. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You could see the hesitation after the second miss when we were going inside 50. He made a couple of runs, and there was a bit of hesitation. They weren't going to him. It's sad, man. I don't know. It's as we said. I really hope he can work it out. But it was just the hesitation from the players kicking inside 50, and then they just proceeded to, oh shit, I've got to kick it, so just bomb it in.
Yeah. There was a direct re-entry after Harry missed that second goal. I think it was Hewitt. He was running on the wing. It was on our side as well. Harry's made a run. He's clear. He's got no one in front of him. That kick would have been easy from Hewitt, and Hewitt's just gone straight over the top of his head.
Yeah.
But can you blame him?
Yep.
Not really.
Him
Not
getting
really.
concussed for me is probably the best thing that could have happened. Sorry to say.
It's a blessing in disguise, I think. It's a horrible thing.
I don't know, I can't say it. I
horrible.
shouldn't say it,
You're gonna get roasted.
bro. Like, I'm being honest. I speak it how it is. Like, I feel better knowing that he's not playing this week. The Martin one kills me, but Harry Mackay, man, I don't know.
The first miss, the yips. I mean, that was a bad one, right? Like, I think he dropped it. Kick through it. Just kick through it. Like, he had a little bit of space on the defender. Kick through it. It goes in. It's arguably harder to miss than it is to score, right? It's actually it's harder to do what he did than it is to score a goal.
Getting angry.
That second one. I said to Carl for that second one, I prefer when he drop punts it, but I looked at Carl. I'm like, why is he not snapping it, right? Because that's his bread and butter. I was like, if that's a snap, that's going in. It might just go over the goal umpire's head, but it's going in, right? Fuck yeah, all right. It stressed me out. But other thing, Sub. Get your take on Sub. I'm not a fan of Motlop Sub personally. I'd rather him play full quarters because I feel like he builds into the game.
He builds in, yeah.
Yeah, like we saw, like Dow was sub for 4 or 5 weeks in a row. He comes in, he makes an impact, right? And I felt like we lacked that run in the fourth. Man, Errol Goulden, love that bloke. Love that kid. He is an absolute star. A big Carlton fan growing up, apparently. He absolutely and had it, not being for a couple of game-saving moments like that Cottrell tackle, which the noise erupted. Tackles. Wow. But, I felt like that run, we couldn't match them with some of that in the fourth quarter. Like, we looked a bit, lethargic. And that's where Hollands or Dow might have been a little bit handy as a
Dow
sub.
was so unlucky. to be dropped.
Bad.
I
Stiff.
could not, honestly, I could not believe it.
It was horrible. He
I was
did
like,
not deserve to be dropped.
Man, this kid has tried his heart out. He's doing well. He's not just trying, he's actually executing. First chance they get, they don't even make him sub.
Yeah, I thought he would at least been sub. I
That's
didn't think he was
logical.
going to get dropped, to be honest. I thought
Yeah,
he'd
no.
play.
For a
Yeah,
Game
game
he
like
got dropped,
that.
I thought sub.
Yep.
Probably happens next week, Friday night, if you elevate Motlop for Martin, or it depends what happens with Kennedy as well. So
Yeah.
let's just say Jack
Voss
is
comes
hopefully
in.
fit.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like the conversation Voss would have had with him, and he didn't do anything wrong in the GWS game. He had a good game. Like
Yeah.
and he's had a great run. He hasn't really had a bad game. So he's made himself undroppable. But Voss would have said, hey, Cripps is back. I'm just assuming like Cripps is back, Doc is back. We got Hewitt, we got Chera, we got Walsh. But then I would have thought surely sub. But and that like put a bit of dent in my confidence about him resigning. Because he'll be thinking this is going to be the reality for me.
Yeah.
He's gone.
If these players are in, I can do whatever. I can get 45 and 3 goals in the VFL, and I'm still going to be on the surface. So yeah,
It's the Tom Mitchell. It's the same thing that Tom Mitchell at Sydney. He'd come in whenever Kieran Jack or Dan Hanbury, one of those would go down, get 40 touches, kick a couple goals. They'll come back. He'll get dropped. Went to Hawthorn, won a Brownlow. I'm
Yeah.
not saying he's going to win a Brownlow, but sometimes you just
imagine.
don't fit. Sometimes you just don't fit into a team's
Yeah.
core system. It's just not you. I'm just fucking rapping. We won a final. We've spent the last 20 or so, talking about the downs.
Yeah, G up.
Fuck with that.
It's like we lost.
The one down, but
The one
we
down.
won a final.
Look,
How good was it?
there was one more down. In the whole of the MCG, why were we sat next to the freaking
Sydney.
the Sydney cheer
supporters.
squad? Fucking why?
It was better after celebrating.
It was our pod, full Carlton. The rest of the stadium was full Carlton, and
And
then
then
right next to us, that bay next to us was nothing but Sydney.
And they were loud.
Yeah.
They were loud, man.
It was good. It made it a bit interesting. I didn't mind it. I was getting angry whenever they kicked goal. Oh man, that was good.
How beautiful was it? Like leaving the ground and just the tangible. I don't even know what the word is for it, man. Just the joy, the elation, the just
vibe.
I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I was. I felt like I was on the field. Bloody, yeah. It was just lost the voice, but the pockets of people, cracking out the song, the amount of just generations. You saw some, the older generations just relive some past successes. You saw some of the younger generations who have never seen next to no success. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about the teenagers and whatnot. Like that's like probably like an out of body experience for them. Like this kind of result. And for us, like I said, 2/3 of my life have been it's been mediocrity. 67%. I said it. That's that about 3 months ago. 67% of my life has been crap with this team. So it's it was just. There's no words for it, man. It was like the roar, the final siren. You saw how much it meant to Cripps, and the players. It was
All of
just
them,
it was
man.
beautiful. And hey, like half of these players haven't lost a final yet, so it's a nice little record to have.
That fourth quarter was nothing but anxiety. But the last 5 minutes were the ball. They entered into our forward 50 quite a few times, and there was some very, very impressive marks from the likes of Jack Martin and Mitch McGovern that saved the game. But then I think there was 2 loud moments, like incredibly loud, like the loudest I've ever been involved in. One was the Cripper goal.
All yours. Let's go, Crip.
where the whole stadium, I think even the Sydney supporters were cheering. Everyone erupted, and that was loud. That was seriously loud. And then the volume, the sheer decibels when Nick Newman marked it with a couple of seconds to go. Wow.
Mental.
Wow. No one could hear the siren.
Nah, I didn't hear it. I knew it was going. Like I knew it was going to
Yeah.
go.
I didn't hear it. Yeah.
I just
was-
remembered like just cheering,
jumping up and down.
I didn't
Yeah.
even cheer. I think I just screamed. I just let out a scream.
I think we need to acknowledge the fact that we beat Sydney, who were a finals experienced side
Grand
with a bunch of
finals.
kids,
Last year's grand
with a
final,
bunch of
grand final.
kids who have not played or have not won a final ever in their life. I think bar Akers. I think Akers has won one final.
Yep.
Every single person in that side has not won a final or even played in a final.
Played in it, yeah.
So I think we need to just really acknowledge that.
Yeah. Oh,
Massive.
And Cripps is still injured as well. I don't know if you guys realise, but he was still
He's
wearing
sore.
that
Yeah, he's
mattress.
still got that pillow in him, yeah.
yeah.
And he copped a couple of knocks as well, so he'll be sore. But I think he would have like he got the week off. So yeah, we've got our own wounded, of course, as well with Akers. Hopefully, I don't know. Is it a jab? You know, get it right. You know, he'll battle through. Like he's an absolute warrior. He'll battle through, and he'll probably go in for a procedure after the season. Hopefully, with a medal around his neck. But it'd be very interesting to see team selection.
Mate, if he comes out the other end, he's going to need a prosthetic arm by the end of the year, George.
He's the on the full with 5 minutes to go. Like he cashed it in. He cashed it in. You know he's gonna do it. Right? But with 5 minutes to go, man.
I might have cheered that out of bounds on the full.
We all did.
I'll be honest.
There it is. There it is.
You know what? He earned that one, but he did that much good for us. He earned one. Let him have that one.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Oh, the not saving one goal, saving 2 goals.
Yeah.
He touched it. And how ironic, Sydney getting into the 8 with a non-decision against Adelaide.
And then their coach complaining.
Yeah. But this time it was a real decision, and that AFL photographer proved it. What a photo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Overlay that one. Michael Wilson, I think it was. Overlay that photo.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Might frame it.
It was Kane Corn saying, he was saying, we don't need Arc, we just need a really good photographer behind the goals.
Yeah.
And what a game it was. Carlton win their first final. We're through, and we'll be playing the Demons on Friday night at the G once again. The struggle, the anxiety for tickets continues again. It kicks off once again. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun tomorrow. But we'll move on to the votes. Now, 1 vote, 2 votes, and 3 votes. Carl, I'll kick it off with you.
1 vote. You know what? It's a hard game to
It is.
vote
It is.
because you had players that did jobs that are going to miss out on votes, but we'll get into it. 1 vote I'm going to give to Adam Saad. What he did in that back line and running off that back line, and he did things that needed to be done that just hooked us up when we needed it to be done. He gets my 1 vote. 2 votes. Fuck, who do you give it to, man?
Good luck.
This is like, it's a hard one. I think I'm going to give my 2 to Cottrell. We spoke about him earlier and what he did. His 2 goals, his ability to run up and down the field. He was just, great all over. And obviously 3 votes to Blake Acres. To do what he did with one arm, I don't know if he was faking it just for the camera. Like,
Theatrics.
yeah. He soldier. That's what I call him, a soldier.
Yeah.
He got us over the line, man. He did. Yeah, that's my 3. Moss?
Very much like yours, Carl. Adam Saad gets 1. Did a lot of good things. I spoke about him a little bit before. He's continued to build, and I think he's built for finals. I think he's going to continue and do some really good things on Friday, hopefully. Mine's the other way around. I'm going to give... no, I'm not. But it's I've been a big Cotter's believer and a fan.
Yeah.
I think what he brings to the Carlton side and just run and run. And he's not the most skillful player by far. His endeavour and heart is next to none. He does not stop, and he will not stop. So I'm actually going to give him 3 based on 94% disposal efficiency. He's not the most skillful player, but he got 94% disposal efficiency, and I think 15 of them were kicks. So that's massive. So he gets 3, and Akers gets 2. Georgie?
Good call. I'm Cotter's a stiff for me. I absolutely loved his game, his work rate. Again, this is a very hard game to vote for, but he has worked his ass off to get to where he is. It's a great story from the SSP. I think we got him. Him and Gibbons. I think we drafted him at the same time from memory. So, he has worked his ass off. He wasn't in the 22 earlier this year. And it's a great option on the wing now. And as I said earlier, our wings was an area where we lacked, and now we've got him and Hollands and Akers. And if disaster strikes, Lockie O'Brien. But look, he's a bit stiff for me missing the votes, but I'm going to give 1 to Jack Martin. 2 absolute clutch goals in very, very important moments of the game. 2 huge marks, almost a brain fade. Well, he did give it to the opposition, I think. Yeah, he did. And then fumbled for a goal. But again, clutch marks in defence. And as I said earlier, like the leadership, the poise, the strength. Also in his not clenched fist. It wasn't clenched fist. Was it clenched
Open
fist?
hand.
Was it? Open hand.
Open hand.
So he gets my 1. Sam Walsh gets my 2. I said that in the preview, Walsh. I tipped him for BOG, but man, the guy's clearance work. He's being the 2nd or 3rd man out after the link up play in the midfield. His inside 50s. He was fantastic. So loved his game. I felt like he was getting back to his absolute best. Felt he was unrestricted in his movement. Just great link up. Blake Acres. Pick a moment. Pick any moment you want. Pick 1 or 2 of the game-saving tackles. Pick the goal at the end, which 10 years to the day, it was almost like the kick at Jeffrey, in the same spot, right in the same spot as Garlick kicked that winner. That was huge. The run and tackle of Blakey at the end. So Akers again. I was wrong. Absolute star and an absolute bargain. For future 3rd for Freo. So thank you, Freo, again. Andy?
1 to Walsh. All the reasons you said. I thought he was our most important midfielder. I thought he, like you said, clearance work rate, that spoil in the last quarter that we spoke about was just... I watched him run and run, and he just ran, and he got there. And he was spent, but he stayed on the ground and he sprinted to the next contest. and that his ability to do that is just second to none. Number 2, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I'm gonna go Cotters, number 2. But man, like I said earlier, for a guy who's not considered to be, in our elite, group, he outshined almost everyone on the field. He was his composure during the game wasn't the composure of a person who's the 15th best player on the team or the 12th best player on the team. And it got us there, If it wasn't for Cotters, we don't win, for those efforts. And number 3, yeah, Harry McKay, man. I just thought
Who posted that? Was that Fox Footy or something? I saw something about Harry McKay being listed.
He had they gave him like a decent rating, and he had a decent game up until that second miss. He did. I thought he had a decent game, but that's not. We just spoke about him.
You said Harry McKay.
Blake Acres, man. What he was able to do with one arm, what a warrior. Yeah. What an absolute warrior. That's a story he can tell to his grandchildren and great-grandchildren in, 50, 60 years' time. He can sit there and say, I literally single-handedly won a final. So, yeah, good on you. Blakers, champion. Amar?
Same as Carl's. It's Sard with 1, Cotters with 2, and Acres with 3. The Cotters and Acres one is a flip of a coin. Yeah. But it's the fact that he's done it with one arm. You cannot look past it. I mean, I think pretty much all of the second half, he was running around like this the whole time.
Yeah.
I was looking at him and I was in pain. Or maybe I was just numb because it was freaking freezing. I don't know. But anyway, it was incredible to see what not only Acres did with his limited body function, but the rest of the team, right? They willed that win because Sydney was coming hard, and all credit to them, man. There's a reason why they're number 1 in transition, and it was on display that night. As soon as they got the turnover, it was over on the other side of the ground in like 10 seconds. It was insane, and like Golden, what a player! That guy was in every single important play of that match for Sydney.
Yep,
absolute star. Do not let him go, Sydney.
Unless it's us.
Unless to us, yeah. We'll give you a deal. But yeah, it's good to see. It wasn't a Chera, it wasn't a Kerno, it definitely wasn't Mackay, it wasn't a Cripps or a Doherty. Even though they all contributed, they had their contributions. It was lesser named players, and I don't mean that in a bad way. And I mean it's not the elite of Carlton in sort of Cripps and Kerno and all those that won the game off their boot. It was our wingers. When was the last time our wingers won the game for us? Right?
How good is it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tom De Koning, right? This is a player that has a good week and then 3 bad weeks and then a good week and then 3 bad weeks, and it's potential, right? But he did it when it mattered the most. Tom De Koning was brilliant, and I'm starting to like him quite a lot now. It's not only his ability and his athletic ability up in the air and everything like that, but it's his second efforts and how quick he is to get to that second effort. I think it was the Acres goal. He went up to contest for the mark, and then in a split second he was already down on the ground, picking it up and running away with it. It was absolutely brilliant to see someone with that height. To have that kind of agility is brilliant. It is a team effort now, and we don't win based off the performance of certain individuals. We're playing some serious team footy now, and I think it's going to be hard to stop if we can get the small things right, the ones that are costing us at the moment. I can't see us being beaten.
Easy money.
Oh yeah, George, if you
Let's
could find
smash 'em.
tickets for Brisbane, please, that'd be good.
It's good they got that first final out of the way. But back to Tom DeConing. Andy pointed something out yesterday in the third quarter. He didn't make the tackle, but the effort, the dive, he threw himself to try and get him. He didn't, but the effort that was there was what you want to see every week.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
From a big man.
Huge guy.
He
Huge guy.
literally
Yeah,
lunged.
Superman.
He like lunged like a belly
Yeah.
flop, like literally.
Yeah.
He just absolutely
Yeah.
and that's pressure, right? And also setting up the Acres final goal as well. So
And you know what? It's actions like that will
Finals
earn
footy.
you respect. It'll earn you respect from your teammates,
Yeah.
which is the most important thing. You know
That's
what I
the
mean?
flip coin on what we've been seeing from the other end, and that's why he's highlighted so much now, because we've got a team of champions now who are working for each other. So that
Together.
when someone doesn't fit into that, they stand out like dog's
100%.
balls.
Yeah.
100%
And that's what I'm comparing him to at the moment. So
My fault.
On that note,
And on dogs balls, gentlemen, that is a wrap.
We fucking won a final, boys. We won a final. Hey, it was disbelief, man. It still is disbelief, honestly. It's fantastic. And there's words now. There's word of, Voss getting an extension. And it's weird hearing Carlton coach an extension.
Yeah. I don't normally go together.
I don't think, I don't recall ever hearing that. Maybe Rats or before that. David Parkin too. But yeah, like, it's unreal. So that's where, a lot of commentary was, if Carlton make the finals is a success, and a lot of the sort of the consensus was they have to win one. And then everything else after that is just gravy. So, but
so off topic a bit, going back to extensions and coaches. So I follow Watford in the English leagues, and putting Watford and Carlton together, I did the math on this last year. Since 2014 combined, which is 9 years, both teams have had 20 coaches combined. I'm not even joking.
and that's probably the win percentage, 20% as well.
I'm not even joking. 20
Far
coaches
out.
combined in 9 years.
Solid.
Pretty wild. So
That's
yeah,
insane.
seeing a coach get his contract extended,
It's good.
so foreign. What's that?
huge.
A long
Good on
term.
him. We haven't highlighted Voss at all in this ep, but to go up against Longmire, man, Longmire is a finals experienced coach. 4 grand finals, 1 grand final win. Him and his coaching staff, they're like he stifles the way you play. He doesn't let you have your way, man. So Voss and to Voss and his team, that's we haven't given him credit, but huge.
Yep. Absolutely. On your Vossi.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Friday again.
Slowly.
It's a workout. It's a workout. It's a mental strain, which I'm loving. Which I'm absolutely loving.
Yeah. There'll be
want
mental
more.
strain because next Friday will be a physical strain driving to to Brisbane.
In.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
2.5 hours each, was it? On the way
Something
up,
like that.
2.5 hours each.
100 bottles of beer on the wall. 100 bottles of beer.
Out.
Gents, it's been an absolute pleasure. And until the preview, it is sayonara from the Monday Blues. Thanks, gents.
Sicky now.